from Bucket List Homestead. If you're new here, welcome. I know I got a few new subscribers the past week, so thank you and welcome. As I said, my name is Lynn, and for those of you who are new here, just a quick background. I live in Ontario, Canada, with my husband David and our 2 children, Grace and Aiden, on about 3 acres of property. My husband did 30 years service, full-time military. He is now retired from full-time military, but still working part-time with the reserves. We bought our place 8 years ago, and the dream of owning our homestead came from my first diagnosis of cancer in 2012, and we made a bucket list of things that we want to do or have when I beat cancer. And on the top of the list was our own home finally. By the time we bought our place, we'd lived 20 years in military housing, so we were ready for our own place. We wanted enough property that we could maintain it, and our children could have a place. At the time, they were 10 and 7. So we wanted a place for them to have their play, their swing set, their trampoline, a pool. And I wanted to be able to have a big garden and have chickens and eventually hope to plant apple trees and et cetera, et cetera. So that is how we also named our homestead Bucket List Homestead. Okay, so that part's all done. So today I am making rhubarb butter. Love the fruit butters. I've done apple butter many times. I did pumpkin butter for the first time last fall. It is amazing. You add that to plain Greek yogurt, stir it all up, let it sit for a couple hours. It tastes like pumpkin cheesecake. I kid you not. It was delicious. So this is going to be part of a collaboration that I am joining with from Get to the Farm, who is doing a collab for rhubarb, different things we can do with rhubarb. So I've got a few recipes I'm going to be doing, but today it's going to be rhubarb butter. And it's going to be done in the slow cooker. So let's get to it. So in this right here, I have about 1.5 pounds of cut up fresh rhubarb. You can use frozen too. Roughly 4 or 5 cups, and it's all cut up into pieces. And I'm just going to get it into my slow cooker or my crock pot, wherever you're from and what you call it. Okay. I have 1 cup of organic cane sugar, 1/4 cup of water. We're going to give that a stir. Lots of water and rhubarb. I'm going to put it on low and let it go for about an hour, and we'll check back in an hour. Sorry, you got to put the slow cooker on high for an hour, not low. So high for 1 hour, okay? So my rhubarb has been cooking for about an hour on high, and it's still not, it's softer, but it's still not, I need it a little bit softer because we're going to blend this in the blender once it's done. So I'm going to let it go for about another half hour. And I'm going to add a little bit of cinnamon right now too. So I'm going to say that's probably about 3 teaspoons. We don't measure cinnamon here. Oh, it smells good. Okay, so we're going to let that go for about another half hour, and I'll meet you at the blender. Okay, so it did take about 1.5 hours total. It smells really good. So I'm just going to ladle everything, including all the liquid, right into my blender, and we're going to blend it all up. So, and I find it so funny how rhubarb is a vegetable, but we treat it like fruit. And my rhubarb did beautiful this year. This was my first patch that I planted. We had some rhubarb on the property when we moved here, but they planted it in really bad spots, and I did get some out of the existing ones this year that I froze. They were hard to get to because they're in a lot of weeds and tall grass. So, okay. So you're not going to put your slow cooker away, because after we puree this all up, it's going to go back into the slow cooker, and we're going to cook it till it gets to the consistency we like. That could be 3 hours, that could be 5 hours. It really depends. So I'm gonna go for 3 and see what happens. So I'm gonna blend this all up, clean up my mess, because as usual I've spilt some juices, and I'll meet you back over at the crock pot. Okay, so we're all pureed, and I will say it's quite the color. A lot of my rhubarb was not very pink. I think then I'll try and pick some a little bit thinner, because it will be pinker. But it's okay, green's not a bad color. All right, so we got that all back into. Now this time we are going to put it on low. Low. Cover back on. And I will see you. We'll go for 2 hours. It's not a huge amount. This is a small batch I'm making because I want to see if we're going to like it before I go and can a whole bunch of jars and then find out we didn't like it. So we'll be trying this later. So yeah, so 2 hours on low, and we'll see if it's a consistency we like after 2 hours. So, hour and a half back in the crock pot after we pureed it has been the perfect consistency for me for the butter. So, I have my canner going because this is going to be a little bit more than I thought. But that's okay. I tasted it and it was really, really good. I'm definitely going to be making more of this to put into the pantry. So, I need my, hold on just a second. Okay, I had to get my ladle. So these jars were in a hot oven, staying warm. Oops, Lynn, use your funnel. So I just got out these little 1/2 pint jars for now. We'll see. I'm actually probably going to have more than I need. Probably going to need more jar. The rest I'll probably just put into something for us to eat this weekend. Yeah, I'm going to admit, it's not the most appetizing color. But it tastes really good. So, alright. I got my vinegar here with some on my paper towel, and I'm just going to wipe the rims, because I definitely got some on them. Kind of looks like pea puree. Okay, and I got some lids here. So these are just small jars, so these are going to take about 15 minutes to can. Tight. All right, so let's get these into the canner. Okay. Set the timer for 15 minutes. All right, I'm going to test it again for you on camera. I still have probably another pint jar, 1/2 pint jar in there. So let's try it, shall we? That is really good. Oh my goodness. On homemade biscuits this weekend, that is going to be amazing. Wow. I really recommend you try rhubarb butter. I realized I totally forgot to take the bubbles out of the jars. You didn't hear this from me, but I'm not as worried about it because there's tiny jars. So, so yeah, I realized I forgot to take the bubbles out. So I hope you try this. If you do, please let me know down in the comments. I'd love to know what you think. I'm actually looking forward to strawberry and blueberry season because I'm going to try strawberry and blueberry butters. I've totally become addicted to the butters. And I end up getting a whole nother big size jar out of the last bit. So that's not too bad. 4 half pints and 1 pint. So until then, take care, God bless, and we'll see you all soon.